Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Andrea. She and I have been working together for the past few months, and we got some pretty incredible results. So I just wanted to connect with her and let you guys hear it right from her as far as everything that we did, all the different moving pieces. But she has a little bit of a twist to her story. I know a lot of you have seen the interview with Erica and what we did with her. But with Andrea, she actually has not been an active photographer for the last year. She was working her corporate job and has decided to move away from corporate job and come back to her boudoir. And then she wanted to just explode the business. And so super excited to connect with her because it's a very different perspective that you guys are going to get than the one with Erica. So everyone say hi to Andrea.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah, happy to.
So what I want to do real quick is we want to start off, just tell us where you're based and if you have a studio or not, if you do in-person sales, those types of things.
Yeah, totally. So I am based in the Sacramento, California area, just outside of it in the suburbs. I do have a studio. It is, I've been in a studio share situation, and I just recently signed a lease for my own studio, in part because of this launch and this program and all of that good stuff. It gave me the confidence I needed in order to actually jump in and do big things. So just launched into my new studio space. So and I have been doing in-person sales from basically the beginning, that since the very start of doing boudoir. I've been doing boudoir for about 3 years, but like Easton said, I was doing part-time boudoir because I carried on a corporate job for a number of years, and I took a 12-ish month hiatus over the course of the last year. So I really, really needed this reboot that came from this program, and decided to just do big things, launch hard.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, when we work together one-on-one with our clients, we take them through a series of different things. The first thing is to concentrate on growing their group.
Yes.
And so just like with Erica, we ran the same type of group grow contest, and we ran that all through ManyChat, which is a chatbot software. Now that chatbot software is very cool because if you were to email people and say, hey, you know, whatever this, check out this offer, only 24% of people actually open emails. But when it comes to chatbots, it's incredible. You have over 90% of people actually clicking because they just want to get rid of that little red dot. And then they also will not just open the message, but continue to go on and click beyond that. And so you have 90-something% click-through rates as well. So talk to me a little bit about your group. How many people did you have in your group before we launched the group grow, and what are you at now?
So I had about 1,800 people in my group, but you guys, my group was dead. So like I said, with this 12-month hiatus, my group had just kind of fizzled out. And so I wasn't expecting a huge response with the group grow through ManyChat, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised. Like Easton said, I think that it moving through ManyChat kind of simplified what needed to be done throughout the process. And because it's kind of like a step-by-step setup, I had a ton of success with people adding their friends and the process that took place as a result. So with my group grow, I want to say that I added, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I'm pretty sure that I added about 2,000 new people to my group, with the silliness of the way that Facebook works nowadays, which is kind of why, previous group grow methods don't work very well, and why I feel like this one worked very well. I ended up landing about 500 of those 2,000 people that actually stayed in the group and didn't end up pulling out because of the 30-day preview and all of that good stuff. But I was still super, super happy with those numbers, because previous to that, like 20, 30 at a time, maybe. So it was awesome.
Yeah. And your group is closed, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Completely. In fact, I think I have it secret so that it can't even be found.
Okay. Awesome. So we went from 1,800 and you added about 500 people through that.
Correct.
And then we waited a couple weeks, and then we worked on putting together a giveaway. And same type of thing where we ran the entire giveaway through a chatbot. And there's a little curveball thrown in here because while we were running the ads, about halfway through, a scheduled post went into your group, and there was like the tiniest side of like an areola or something.
Yes.
Right. And it suspended your whole account, right?
Yeah, so it was frustrating because I had posted that previous to Facebook, or I'd posted it to my group previous, and it had never been caught. It wasn't an issue. And then the scheduled post that I had go up, the moment it hit my group, I got a 24-hour ban. And that suspended my ability to run ads. Like ManyChat was attached to my Facebook account, and it basically shut down the chat box altogether. So we had to shut down ads, I think 2 days into the ads when they were just kind of starting their momentum, and get past that 24-hour ban.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
Note
but it worked out okay.
Yeah, note to self, don't post anything that is even a tiny bit or could possibly be.
So safe. Play it so safe.
Awesome. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a hiccup, but we were able to recover from that and get the ads back up and running 24 hours later. And really towards the end of the campaign is when everything really started to take off.
Yeah.
And so we didn't extend this or anything. We still ran it for the same time period. And so the results are much less than what Erica got, like by a lot, but the booking results are very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really important thing too. So let's talk about that. How much did you spend on the giveaway? How many leads did you get? And then how many bookings did you get?
Sure. Okay. So I spent just under $460 on the actual Facebook ads. I am in California. Everything is more expensive here. I'm pretty sure that Facebook makes me spend more money for my Facebook ads, similar to the way everything California makes me spend more money. And I received 468 long forms, and I got 242 short forms as well.
Cool.
So the leads itself, I would say 240. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So just so you guys know, if you don't know the difference between long forms and short forms, we always use a 2-form system when we're asking people to apply for a giveaway. And it's because we want them jumping through hoops. We want to see how serious they are. We don't want them to just be able to give us an email and then be able to walk away and hope they win. We want to see and make sure that they're actually serious about it. And so they fill out a short form, which is just an email, sometimes a name. Then from there, in the email that they get right after that, we ask them we say, we just need a little bit more information from you. And then we have a longer form that asks them more specific questions. And so when she's talking about getting short forms versus long forms, typically we have about 50% of the short forms that are filled out that also will then fill out a long form as well. And that's a very intentional step that we add in there just to filter out people that really aren't actually interested in it.
And I will say that the long forms really helped me be able to understand which qualified leads I should be getting in touch with. So the way that the questions are formatted and the way that the breakdown occurs, it really allowed me to prioritize the people that I should be getting in touch with sooner rather than later, based on how serious, what their stories were, how well I feel like they would fit into my brand and be able to resonate with, my mission.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so I just want to show you guys. I want to show you guys the ad real quick. All right, here we go. All right, so let me zoom in on this for you guys so you can see a little better. Sweet. So we only run this as an ad to mobile feeds. And the reason for that is because it's the call to action is actually for people to send a message. So when they click on the send message button, that's when it initiates the chatbot, and the chatbot will pop up for them, and it will say, did you want to enter to win this experience? And then they click yes. As soon as they click yes, they are now a subscriber, and we can actually broadcast to them. In addition to, they're going to be going down the entire flow in the chatbot that we have built. And this is the actual ad that was run. This is the picture, just so you guys can get an idea. I know a lot of boudoir photographers complain about getting their pictures denied all the time. And the reason is because you're not following Facebook standards. And although they are super annoying, and if you posted a freaking nude picture of a guy, it probably would get approved. But if you post anything a little tiny bit scandalous with a woman, Facebook is like, oh my gosh, I hate that. And then they deny it. So here's the ad that we used, mostly face. She's almost fully clothed. And we use this specifically because we need it to be approved. And I know a lot of people struggle with, well, it doesn't represent my brand or this, that, and the other thing. That doesn't really necessarily matter here. We just need an image that is going to draw people in. And in this particular image, the eyes are looking directly at you. And anytime, no matter what niche you're running an ad for, if you're running an ad and use a picture of a person looking directly into the camera like this, it's going to draw people and it makes them stop. And that's what we call a pattern interrupt. So these types of images work super well. And I just wanted to show you guys that really quickly because I think it's pretty important. And then this here is the actual model call bot that we use. So people go through this exact bot. So the message that pops up first is, do you want to be entered in to win this competition? Once they click yes, what ends up happening is tags are added to them so that we can keep track of where people are coming from, as well as remarket to them in the future. And if they hit yes, then it's going to say, awesome, click here to enter. And they continue to go down this road to fill out their form and get sent to a landing page and all of that. And if they do not hit yes, then it's going to wait 5 minutes, and then it's going to send them this message and remind them, they got to fill out the page if they haven't already. And so then they click here. So everything that we run here is through these chatbots. I just wanted to give you guys a little glimpse into what it is we were doing there. Cool. All right. So once we ran this, after we got through our hiccup with having your entire account suspended, then talk to me about the process after that. You were getting ready to announce your winners, and through the process of the competition running, what were you doing to keep your group active?
Right. Okay. So one of the things that I really loved about this program is basically how it encouraged me to interact with my group, specifically during the sales process. You are posting video testimonials. You are posting written testimonials from clients and keeping them engaged in that process and hearing these beautiful words from your clients about these sessions, potentially being life-changing and really causing shifts in their mentality and all of these different types of things. It was super, super helpful having all of that happen and just having them being bombarded with this positivity and this light directly correlating to, the boudoir business specifically. And that's, a huge portion of the reason why I do what I do. I love getting to be a part of women's lives, being changed by this process. And so it really just highlighted and allowed me an opportunity to really get real heartfelt with them and engage in the emotional sales that we typically engage in when we're dealing, with in-person sales and those different types of things. Really drawing on the emotion of these individuals in order to turn them into real leads and turn them into, real clients. And so one of the things that a couple of the things that we do is we do a live shoot, because we want them to see that that the live shoot is not, that a session is not the intimidating, crazy, sexual, sensual thing that they kind of have in their mind. There's a lot of laughter and joking, and it's basically a girl day hanging out, with a good buddy, and not the intimidating, crazy thing that they've put in their heads about why they can't do this, because they are not like all of these, women in the photographs. And I think the client testimonials really speak to that as well, that they are just average, everyday women who wanted an opportunity to feel really beautiful. And then there's also, I did a live video where I talked about why I do these types of sessions, why I specifically focus on the genre of boudoir, what it meant to me and what it means to me currently to be able to get to play a role with these individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that I did with the live videos and announcing my winners and all of those different types of things, I was getting prepped for it. And, you reached out to me, Easton, and basically said, is there anything that I can do to help you feel ready for this, or to, maximize this? And I was like, yeah, actually, I was like, talk to me about how I can make this live be the most, have the most impact for these people. What do I need to do in order to actually convert these people? Because I had done my why the night before, and I had all of these incredible comments from these women who were saying that they were in tears and that they felt like I was speaking to them. And I'm like, okay, well, great. I love that I'm speaking to you. Now, how do I convert these into actual clients? And you were so gracious to get on the phone with me and really talk to me about a lot of different marketing principles and how to maximize that live video for conversion. And I feel like that was a huge part of the success with me converting these potential leads and these new women in my group to actually get to convert them into clients. And I feel like that was a huge part of the reason why I have, why I booked those 13 clients during that particular promotion. But I also think it's a huge part of the reason why I'm having 4 consults today. And talking to 4 more women who are looking to book because they weren't quite ready last week, but they're feeling more prepared for it this week. So I really feel like it just kind of shifted my mentality on how I should talk to these individuals and the way that I should engage with them on a go forward basis as well.
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny because when we had that conversation, we talked about this afterwards, that sometimes there's things, I do marketing for a living all the time. And so there's sometimes you forget some of the little nuanced things about how this all works and the why behind it that really makes it powerful. And I think when you sent me the write-up of what you were going to talk about on that live, I loved it because you used a specific question. What would it mean to you if? Right. And so this whole week, they're seeing a live shoot happen. They're seeing a studio tour. They're seeing all your different samples of products. They're really getting into it. And then you do your why, and they're like, whoa. And then it's like, yeah, but this could be for you too. What would it mean for you, to go through a shoot like this? What kind of life experience would this give for you, and what kind of change? And I think that that's a key thing. And it doesn't just apply on these types of phone calls. It applies everywhere. Most of how I sell is getting people to understand what it is that they could potentially purchase, right? And then the impact that it can have on them. And so a lot of times our clients will struggle on these phone calls because they don't know what to say. And I would say, number one, the most important thing is to be you. And not try to be all super salesy or, put on this persona of someone that you aren't, because that gets sniffed out really quickly. And the second thing is tone change when you announce the price. As soon as your tone changes and you start talking faster when you say the price, it's like, okay, yeah, well, so that was awesome. It was so good to hear your story. I loved it. All right. And so the sessions they start at 250, but if you don't want that, then we're going to go here, and it's fine because we also have this. And if you don't want this album, we have this album. And you're like unselling the client on the phone as opposed to having them sell themselves to you. And so when you ask that one question, what would it mean to you if they then have to think about that for a second, right? And we're all humans. We all have subconscious, and we all have that continuous engine running in our head and thinking about things. And so I love that you took that and ran with it. And I remember you messaging me with how pumped you were when you got off of it, and just the response and stuff like that. So I love that. Talk to me a little bit about the lives that you did throughout the week. What type of engagement were you getting, comments, those types of things, and how impactful do you think those were to the overall success of this?
So I think that it was hugely impactful. I feel like it really primed and prepped everybody to understand like what was expected. So one of the things that that I did as a part of this process is it's atypical for me to not go through. And I know Erica does this as well, where we go through like the full extent of pricing and, you know, what the experience is going to cost and all of those different types of things. And because of the nature of this promotion, that's just not feasible. And so I feel like the lives that I did where I went in and I introduced them to my studio, and I just, you know, gave them an understanding of what I had available to them. And then, you know, going in and doing a live and showing them what the products look like so that they understand that, you know, all of these various different techniques where the giveaway that I'm doing is high dollar amount, so that they understand right from the get-go, like, okay, she's giving away this much. That must mean that these products cost this much, type of thing. Because I was not going through and talking to, you know, 242 different individuals about what my specific, you know, pricing layout looks like. And my client sales typically are in the $3,000 range. And so I wanted to make sure that they were receiving the undertones of why this experience costs what it does and what the value is that is entailed with it, without having those individual conversations with each one of these women to say specifically, this is how much it's going to cost you in order to actually move forward to do this. And so we did live video, you know, showing them around the studio. And I feel like that was impactful because it basically showed that I am a professional. I have a professional space where I, you know, go and do these types of sessions. Not to say, you know, it's impossible for you to do them in an in-home studio or anything like that. You can tweak the wording and how you engage with them to fit your specific situation as well. But I feel like that really allowed them to see like, oh, okay, this is a real deal. This isn't some Joe Schmo that is just trying to get me naked, essentially. Right. And then going in and doing a live video showing them the different products that we offer and the quality and the beautiful, you know, nature of the products. The comments that I were receiving there was, you know, I had people going, oh my gosh, that looks like the quality that I received for my wedding album. Mm-hmm. And that is absolutely true. I maintain a quality of album that is similar to, you know, what you might see in wedding photography. And it's important for me that my clients understand that the entire breadth of their session is about customization, luxury, and treat yourself. So by doing that, I think it really emphasized, no, this is really, you know, beautiful quality, gorgeous products that you're going to be receiving on the back end of this. And then getting to be able to do the live session, like I said, I feel like that was probably one of the most impactful lives that I do, because women psych themselves out over, you know, what they expect these sessions to be. And the entire course of the live session where I'm going through and I'm showing them, like, I'm literally posing you from your toes to your fingertips, and I will even control your breathing from time to time to make sure that we're getting the shots that we need. It takes the doubt out of, I can't do this. Yep. Because they don't have to know anything. That's my job. It's my job to know what the hell I'm doing. It's their job to just show up and be present. And I think that really reinforces it by showing the live session. So I had so many inquiries just from that, you guys. I had so many people that were like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And that really started the process with being able to kind of ingrain in their head that this was something that they needed to do. So by the time it came around to the sales side, like to the sales portion, they were primed, ready, gearing to go. And then the next live video that I did was my why. And my why is impactful and it's emotional. And I am blessed with the ability to find words to be impactful. And I literally just went through the course of my struggles and my trials and how I ended up falling into boudoir photography specifically, and had the ability to talk to them about how my struggles led to a place of self-love and appreciation and adoration, and how I was able to realize that by doing boudoir session, I could speed up the process for so many different women, because getting the opportunity to see yourself in a light that you really hadn't considered, or to see yourself as beautiful, sometimes for the first time in your life, if not the first time in many, many years. It just really helped build that emotional sale. So the next night is actually when I announced my giveaway winners and when I pitched the flash sale to them. And throughout the course of that week, where they're being bombarded by beautiful photos and client testimonials, they are being bombarded with understanding the way that my process works without actually having me go through and say like, hey, you're going to spend $3,000 to work with me, because that can be scary, right? I feel like it primed all of those different types of things in order to get to a point where we were maximizing the potential for that conversion. So by the time I announced my giveaway winner and the flash sale, you guys, I think I booked 8 within the first hour or 2 hours after my live itself. And then the remaining 5 or so took a little bit more finessing on my part. They were people that wanted to talk with me first to be able to get a clear understanding of what they were going to be diving into. But for me, those 13 bookings are huge, because of those 13 bookings, 10 of them are people who have never seen my work before. 10 of them are networks that I have not reached into. And like I had mentioned previous, my word of mouth in my sessions is phenomenal. I will move through an entire group of friends because because basically they are just so impacted by what these sessions are and how beautiful they felt, and the quality of their products and all of these different types of things, that they talk to all of their friends, and I start getting all of those bookings. So these 13 bookings that I have, 10 of the 13 are people who have never been introduced to me before and are brand new, huge networks of people that I fully intend to move through all of their various different friend groups in order to, maximize the number of people that I get to work with and be in front of. And so it's been hugely, hugely impactful for me.
That's awesome. I love that. I think one of the things that I get told all the time is that, or that I hear from some of our people, is that, you can't just sustain a business on giveaways, or doing a giveaway devalues your brand. Do you feel like your brand was devalued at all by doing this?
No, not in any way, shape, or form. So I will tell you guys that I do pre-session payment plans with my clients, and the giveaway winners that I ended up choosing have two of the 3 have already opted for bigger packages than what they were going to be giving away. So I'm making money on them as well. So it literally, I don't think it devalues my brand in any way, shape, or form. I think it is a really smart way of getting across the fact that working with you is an investment, But I also think that it just creates and primes an opportunity for you to receive new networks of people that you hadn't had previous. I don't know if this is the case for other boudoir photographers, but there are plenty of situations where I have worked with women who told me that it took them a year to book with me because they either needed to get their finances to a place where they could afford a session, or they needed to get over the mentality of, you know, the roadblocks or the blocks, mental blocks that they've put in their head about why they're not ready to do a session. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, you know, it taking a long drawn out kind of romance, so to speak, to get those people in my door. And so even the women who I did not book, those 242 leads, I booked 13 of those. That's still 230 women who I'm going to be able to prime over the course of the next however long that I have not given up on, because those are going to be people that I am going to eventually be able to book in and have ready for a session. They need a little more finessing than each of those individual people that, again, the 4 that I'm talking to today, the 13 that I booked last week. It will be a progression. This is a snowball for me.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And so coming off of a year hiatus, you book out the rest of your year.
I did. I booked out the rest of my year.
You booked 13 sessions. You average around 3,000. So that's just under $40,000.
Yep.
You grow your group. What is the group at now? Total?
It's at 2,600.
And we started around 1,400?
18. So, yeah. So I got an extra 200 or so women who came in and have stayed. And my group itself is really focused on women empowerment in general. And so they find a lot of value in the group, even if they're not doing sessions. But like I said, that is where that 12-month, you know, booking kind of mentality comes into place, because stripping down for a stranger is not an easy thing for a lot of women. And sometimes it takes a lot of like comfortability to get there. And so those extra 800 women that I have added to my group, they're already adding their friends. They, because they see the value in the group, even if they're not, you know, booked in for a session. And that is the intention and mindset of the way that I feel like my group really works. Is it keeps them active, engaged, and I am in the forefront of their mind all the time. So, like I said, you know, these 13 bookings, this was the jump start that I needed, and will absolutely wholeheartedly be a snowball. And that's me just understanding the way that my business has worked previous to this, and knowing, you know, what has come from one single booking. I had one client who was a single booking, and I've literally worked with 15 of her friends. And so more of that, please.
Yeah. Well, I love that. I think that this is really cool to hear. And before you worked with me, you never did any type of paid advertising, right?
I never did. Okay. I did a Facebook ad. I drained $100 into Facebook, and I'm like, this doesn't work. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I should not do this again. This is not gonna be beneficial to me. I think that Facebook advertising can be so monumentally instrumental if you know what the hell you're doing. But if you don't, it can be a money drain and a money suck, and be absolutely pointless for your business as well. And I've experienced both sides of that now.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome. I love being able to work one-on-one with people because we get to sort of work through all the little kinks and actually see the results and see the smile on your face. Are you going to continue to use Facebook ads now?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Now that I know what the hell I'm doing, I will.
That's awesome. Well, guys, if you want to find out more information about working with me, you can go to our website, which is on the screen there. Also, if you want more information about working with me one-on-one, send me a personal message or just respond under the chat here in the comments on this video. If I didn't get to your questions, I'll go back after I get off of this, and I'll make sure to answer your questions. But Andrea, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure working with you. I'm super excited for you, and I can't wait for you to just crush it and continue to crush it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so appreciative to you, Easton. This has been
Awesome.
a really fantastic experience. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I love it. All right. I will talk to you guys all next time. See ya.
Bye.